lake to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. Friends, today, do not miss this story. This story is very suitable for squatting in the toilet to watch slowly. I would like to advise you not to go to the kind of public toilets in the wilderness alone, especially when you drink too much, because at this time the yang qi is weak and it is likely that you will run into the spiritual things. Things happened in 2015 in Jinan, Shandong. I mixed in Beijing for 5 years. Career is relatively stable, so the summertime back to his hometown in Jinan. About the childhood cousin Li Zongping in the stalls to talk about the recent life, and even drank 4 zhang of beer are a bit on the head. Cousin Li Zongping did not seem to have fun, but also do not let me hurry back. Anyway, his development in his hometown is also general. Do a few years of business, lost a lot of money. See, more than 30 has not become a family. Listening to him describe the recent situation, I had to say that he mixed with the so that he balanced a little bit. Not a moment later, he drank a red face and neck, wandering to go on the urination. This open-air barbecue stalls do not have a toilet. I saw him ask half a day. The waiter pointed to an old building. I only know that he was going to go for a long time. I was drinking a beer and so on. I suddenly heard someone yell my name, turn around to see my cousin Li Zongping panicked and ran towards me, as if there was a dog chasing him behind him. I was so happy to see him, but I was so happy to see him. When I got closer, I realized that he was sweating profusely, as if he had seen something scary and was screaming for me to get out of there. He left $200 on the table and pulled me to leave. For a moment, I thought he had gotten into trouble with the gangs chasing him and hurriedly followed him. We both ran 2 intersections in one breath. Really cannot run. He turned to look behind me, which tells the horror of the scene he just saw. It turns out that he just went to the old building over there to go to the toilet, just to the door, and ran into a very strange woman. The woman dressed in white, standing in the corner of the wall, motionless. Hair looks like a puppet without aura in general. The woman also exudes a pungent odor. Cousin really can't figure out why there is a woman standing here stupidly. He thought to himself, could it be that she lost her love and is crying here after getting drunk? Cousin is usually more timid, but after drinking some wine, where do you care so? See, the woman's body is not bad, so the idea of accosting asked the beauty one to drink a couple of cups together. But the woman has been standing there without saying a word. Cousin felt a little embarrassed, can only sigh to go to the toilet, find a location to start peeing. This toilet also do not know how many years. Very shabby, a few pits are broken, but there is no one around. The cousin also did not care to start peeing up. Just when he was comfortable and ready to take a shiver, suddenly heard a sound that startled him, very much like the sound of a woman's high heels walking on the floor bar. Cousin thought it was the wrong women's restroom, and without having time to lift his pants, he backhanded the small door. According to reason, if a male came in, it would not be a big deal, but a woman came in, it would be embarrassing to see the genitals. Is it possible that this toilet does not distinguish between men and women? At this time, the sound of high heels is getting closer and closer. Seems to be walking towards Cousin's pit. Sure enough, the sound of high heels just walked to Cousin's pit and stopped. The middle only and Cousin separated a small compartment door. Cousin immediately noticed something wrong, because the woman came in with a very depressing feeling. This turnaround can be Cousin under the light. Looking through the door, the reflection in the light outside the door, the shadow of a pair of feet standing right in the doorway, looked eerie. Under normal circumstances, leaning so close, the woman outside the door could also hear the movements in the pit. But why did she stand there and not move away? Cousin immediately thought of the strange woman he had just seen at the door. Just as he was puzzled, he raised his head and saw a strange thing on the door. Half of the woman's head was partially exposed from the door panel. But how could this be possible? Although the door is not high, but the woman's figure is obviously also shorter than the door. Head exposed above, indicating that his feet padded with something. But look at the shadow is standing on the ground with both feet, according to common sense. This is obviously impossible. Is it possible that this woman can change the height? and that half of the head is still stretching a little bit higher. The face under the messy hair is gradually revealed. The scene in front of him almost scared his cousin to death, and his brain instantly cleared up after he had been a little drunk. Cousin said he did not know how long he had been frozen with the woman outside the toilet. Time was like frozen, afraid to see the face under the mass of hair. Finally, the cousin really cannot help it, while the strength of alcohol lifted his leg and kicked towards the door. Regardless of whether the door is a person or a ghost, the big deal is to fight. But as soon as he came out, he realized that there was no one at the door at all, and even the whole toilet was not half human-like. Cousin immediately realized that things were not that simple, wailing and rushing out of the toilet. At that time, my cousin couldn't care less about what he saw, and fled as if his life depended on it. After listening to my cousin's story, I remembered what my grandmother had told me before, that when people are unlucky, they will come across these dirty... When I saw my cousin's frightened look, I reassured him that he must have encountered a peeping Tom, but I didn't realize that he didn't believe it at all. In this way, the two of us argued and returned home.